y'all. I'm just settling myself down. That watermelon was so good. It is so sweet. But I'm glad I canceled this evening because that would have been too much running. Because homie wanted to hang out tonight. I was like, I got to go see Babe tomorrow, and then I'm saying to myself, then I would have been, no, that's too much. Y'all know I space stuff out. Then, I already got that packed and I didn't want to be hanging out and then come back in and then have to, get up in the morning and go over Babes and stuff. I plait my hair up, y'all. But I'm going to bring y'all with me. I don't know if she's going to let me record her. I have a, complimentary esthetician that I'm seeing next week. And I'd be like, I don't want to be asking people, do you mind if I record? Because I have a YouTube channel. Do you mind? Because if you do, then I won't, I don't want to, because we're going to be talking about all kind of stuff. And I don't need to be recording all of that. But I'm glad I canceled this evening. That'd have been too much. And then I'm getting up going over Babes. Forget that. But I said I would come back and talk about the obesity crises, you guys. And I'm just going to point out just a few things that you may need to know. Obesity is associated with nearly 1 in 5 deaths. You hear me? 1 in 5 deaths related to obesity. The U.S. public considers obesity second only to cancer as the most serious health issue it faces. Okay? Approximately 95% of the public believes obese people face some level of discrimination due to their weight. And did you guys know that the discrimination due to obesity and their weight is almost equivalent to racial discrimination? Overweight and obese adults often suffer serious health problems, including cardiac disease, diabetes, and hypertension. The staggering medical costs associated with obesity are estimated at more than $147 billion annually. Direct medical costs include preventive, diagnostic, and treatment services related to obesity, and indirect costs related to morbidity and mortality costs, including productivity, mortality. That's when you're unalived, okay? The annual nationwide productivity costs of obesity-related absenteeism, being absent from work because of obesity-related health issues, and presenteeism, being less productive while at work, range from approximately $3.4 billion to $6.4 billion. And Babe is already going through that because he have to take 2 and 3 days off work. I mean, a lot, due to the issues with his feet. The cost to overweight and obese children are even higher. Childhood obesity is the number one concern among parents, topping drug abuse and smoking. Did you guys know that? But I don't want to keep reading all of this because it's a lot. Let me see if I can point out some other things. Among children and adolescents in the U.S., almost 17% are considered obese. So the obesity rate for the United States is 38%, you guys. That's higher than Korea, 10%. Switzerland, 15%. France, 16%. Portugal, Poland, and Spain, 16%. Turkey, Luxembourg, Ireland, Germany, Finland, Canada, United Kingdoms, Australia, 20 to 35% obesity rate. Mexico, 32%. United States, 38%. We the highest, okay? Overweight and obesity rates are higher in the South and Midwest section of the United States. Rates for overweight and obesity are higher in African American and Hispanic women than in Caucasian women, and they are higher for Hispanic men than for Caucasian and African American men. Overweight and obesity rates are higher in the South. I read that high-income women are less likely to be obese than low-income women. There is no significant relationship between obesity and education in men. Overweight versus obesity. Overweight and obesity are both terms for ranges of weight that are greater than what is generally considered healthy for a given height. For adults, being overweight or obese is calculated by using weight, height, and body mass index. BMI is the fairly reliable indicator of body fatness for most people. BMI correlates with the amount of body fat, but it does not directly measure body fat. Let me tell you, maybe you want to check your BMI. You can easily check it, you guys. It's calculated like this. BMI is calculated the same way for adults and children and is based on metric measurements, dividing the weight in kilograms by height in meters. Thus, a BMI is weight divided by height and M2. Google how to do it. An adult with a BMI below 18.5 is considered underweight. An adult with a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9 is considered to be normal. An adult with a BMI of 25 to 29.9 is considered overweight. And an adult with a BMI of 30 or higher is considered obese. I don't want to be too long. I just want to point out some other stuff, y'all. A child with a BMI at or above the 85th percentile and lower than the 95th percentile for his or her age and sex is considered overweight. A child with a BMI or above the 95th percentile for his or her age and sex is considered obese. The correlation between BMI and body fat is fairly strong, but even if two people have the same BMI, their level of body fatness may differ. In general, at the same BMI, women tend to have more body fat than men, blacks tend to have less body fat than whites, and Asians have more body fat than whites. Older people on average tend to have more body fat than younger adults. And athletes have less body fat than non-athletes do. What causes it? Many factors play a role in overweight and obesity, resulting in complex health issues that are challenging to address. An educated healthcare provider is the best source of information and assessment in helping individuals determine whether behavior, genetics, environmental issues, illnesses, medications, and or psychological factors are contributing to weight gain or making weight loss difficult. The following provides a closer look at factors that influence weight: behavior, lifestyle behaviors, such as eating habits and exercise patterns, can dramatically affect an individual's weight. The basic calorie balance equation means that overweight and obesity results from an energy imbalance, eating too many calories and not getting enough physical activity. More calories in than out over time equals weight gain. More calories out than in over time equals weight loss. So cut them portions, eat them smaller portions, and then get some movement going. 1 pound of body fat is equal to about 3,500 calories. Thus, if an individual eats 350 extra calories of food every day, equal to a piece of cake or a medium shake, that individual would gain a pound every 10 days. Let me repeat that. No, I ain't. Every pound of fat causes the body to develop an extra mile of blood vessels, y'all, causing extra work for the cardiovascular system and potentially leading to cardiovascular disease. Then you have the environment, which an individual lives and works is a major factor in the development of obesity. A person may choose not to walk to the store because there are no sidewalks. Fast food restaurants may be plentiful in a particular neighborhood. An individual may not know how to create healthy meals. An individual's family may be obese or overweight and regularly eat high processed foods, so foods high in sugar, fat, or salt. Someone may snack on high-calorie vending machine options rather than choose healthier options because of convenience. Cultural background can influence weight and food choices. The affordability, availability, family gatherings, supersized food options in the fast food industry, and unambiguous warehouse stores offer enormous containers of all kinds of food like Costco, y'all. Living in a high poverty areas place children at higher risk of being born at lower birth weights. Did you know this? Low birth weight is a risk factor for obesity and obesity-related diseases. The prevalence of technology has led to too much more time in front of televisions and computers, exposure to food-related television advertising, y'all, exposure to bisphenol, BPA found in plastics, used in everyday life and often ingested in food and water, have been associated with BMI-defined obesity, y'all. Those plastics. You got to move away from them plastics and those containers and start getting using ceramic or using glass, you know. Yeah, y'all. And people always be like, genetics. No, listen, y'all. Genetics play a role in obesity and can directly cause obesity and disorders such as Bardet-Biedl syndrome, a genetic disorder characterized by obesity, retinitis pigmentosa, some other stuff, a higher number of fingers or toes than normal, underdeveloped sex organs and renal failure, etc., etc. But listen to this, y'all. Genes and or behavior are both necessary for a person to be overweight. Genes and behaviors, not just genetics, okay? While genes can make one susceptible to becoming overweight or obese, outside factors such as abundant food supply or little physical activity play a larger role in developing obesity than genes alone. I'm going to stop right here, y'all. Some illnesses lead to obesity and weight gain, and these include Cushing disease syndrome, drugs such as steroids, some antidepressants and medications used to treat psychiatric illnesses or seizure disorders also may cause weight gain as a side effect of their use. Poor sleep quality may lead to weight gain over time. Sleep apnea may lead to daytime sleepiness and make it much harder for an individual to begin or sustain an exercise program. So I'm going to stop there and I'll pick back up on part 2 later in the weekend or Monday. Okay, y'all? So just wanted to share some of that. It's a whole lot of information that you would really, really be surprised to know. Okay. Health effects of obesity. And we're going to talk about that the next time. Love, peace, and in Christ, y'all. Look, have a wonderful weekend, okay? Bye.